Hi everyone, my name is Eric and this is my digital story. My service site was the First United Methodist Church of Salinas. This site primarily focused on the homeless population in the area, serving food to anyone who would come. I chose to serve at this site because homelessness is something I did not know a lot about and I wanted to learn. After serving the 30 hours, my perspective has definitely changed, and although I don't know a lot about what it is to be homeless or how it happens, I feel like I got a pretty good glimpse of the situation. The service learners and I would primarily work on food preparation, food serving, and cleaning. There was one day that at the site that began like most others. We chopped vegetables and crammed a bunch of bread into a bin. Everything was going relatively well, and then we went to serve the food. When the crowd thinned out, we were able to eat. I remember the soup being disappointing and something felt a little off. While we were beginning to clean, there was a woman crying at her table and conversing with another woman. I overheard the woman that wasn't crying asking about a time of death. She informed the crying woman that she would be right back and that she should stay put. I did not see her return. Soon later, the pastor assured the crying woman that she could stay until closing time and that she didn't have to rush herself to leave. The crying woman seemed grateful. I then overheard another woman asking what was wrong, and it didn't take long before that woman was storming off, repeating, "Dumb bitch! I was just trying to help. I guess I'm a dumb bitch." I walked over to inform her that the crying woman was in mourning and suggested to be patient with her. She said she knew that, but was only trying to help. We both shrugged it off and I wished her a good day. It was then time to clean. While I was wiping the tables down, the crying woman was congested, so she pointed at my cleaning rag and suggested she blow her nose in it. Since I was using it to clean and it had bleach all over it, I retrieved some paper towels instead. She seemed very grateful. We had gotten through sweeping and had moved on to mopping. During the time we were mopping, we were about 15 feet in front of her, and she kept mumbling, "Hey," and "bitch." The other service learner and I did our best to ignore her, until the crying woman threw a chocolate bar. It shattered on the floor in front of us, and I couldn't be passive anymore. I informed the pastor Steve while he was serving the last couple people. As soon as he finished up, he got right in the crying woman's face and said, "You need to leave." The crying woman brushed him off in agreement, but insisted that she needed to use the bathroom first. This is when, if I remember correctly, Pastor Steve volunteered Andrea to help her to the bathroom. They spent a long time in the bathroom with what sounded like struggling. Andrea, if you're listening, I'm so sorry this happened. During this time, there was another woman in the dining area being extremely vulgar to the pastor. I heard her call him a bitch a bunch of times, and she said things like, "You're on camera, bitch," and "You who likes to rape little kids, what's your name?" referring to the pastor. I didn't want to get myself involved, so I went to check on Andrea. I was then told that the crying woman was spotted with a ball of cocaine and a bottle of alcohol. Additionally, I was told that the woman being vulgar was kicked out the previous month for smoking meth on the premises. After what seemed like way too long, Andrea and the crying woman had finally left the bathroom. We kept trying to guide her out of the church since it was well past closing time. Pastor Steve retrieved a walker for the crying woman because she kept complaining about her bad leg. While we were waiting for the pastor, the crying woman told us that her sister had died 2 weeks prior. She told us about how she had diabetes and that they had to cut her sister's whole leg off. She mentioned that her sister had lived in Monterey before her passing and that she missed her. During this time, she kept requesting hugs from Andrea. When the pastor came back, she implied that she wanted him to say a prayer for her sister. The pastor agreed, and the woman was very grateful. We then continued to persuade her to leave, and she was vulgar again to strangers that had nothing to do with the situation. She demanded that she have a chair, and after the pastor lost his patience, he set up a chair in front of the church, and that was that. We then got our sheets signed, and we left. This experience was eye-opening for me. The majority of the neighborhood guests has been very friendly and grateful to us for our service and to those that worked at the church. I learned a lot that day, and I feel like I've grown just from exposure to experience. Although I gained something from this situation, I didn't have much desire to go back to the site. I was thankful that I was almost complete with my hours. Thank you for listening.